Good morning everyone, thanks for tuning in again, and let's make sure I'm in focus here. I think we are. And I am in Malham, and this is the lone tree at Malham, and if you've watched the channel you would have seen me shoot this before when I shot it in the afternoon, and I shot it at sunset, trying to show you the difference in how much difference light makes. Well, today it's sunrise again. Last time I was here, sunrise didn't really work, and I had other places to explore, but I'm staying in the same place down the road here, and I like this tree. You know, I know it's probably not the best, but I still quite like the composition. I'm with, by the way, a really good photographer called Steve Stain, and if you haven't seen his channel, I put a link below for you. And Steve was staying in his camper van last night just down the road. We've been working on a little project, also with Darren Morehouse, and Darren has now gone home. He's had to go to work. And Gary Sugden, who's away in a hotel, so he decided not to come out to play this morning. But it's early. It's only 4:15, and the thing with summer is that sunrise is ridiculously early, so it's not easy. I've had about, I think my watch said I've had about 4.5 hours sleep, so not easy, but ever so often quite happy to do it. And actually, you know what, as soon as you're up in nature, in the wilds with nobody else about, the sound of the birds is amazing, and it's all worthwhile. You can sleep later on, not a problem. So we're just wondering about what to do here. Forecast was broken cloud, and sunrise is there. So we've got this kind of ridge line. The sun is going to come up just kind of there, I think. So even when sunrise happens, we're not going to get any direct light on the tree, but we will get some side lighting on the tree once the light's out. But we're here pre-sunrise, because pre-sunrise and sunrise is when, if there's going to be any colour in the clouds, that's when that's going to start to appear. At the moment, we've got quite a lot of low, claggy cloud hanging around, which was a little bit like it was last time. But there is a better sky. If I just show you there's a better sky than there was last time I was here. So I'm going to have a look round the tree, and Steve's just on the same. Oh, it's a kestrel. Let me see if I can show you. It's a kestrel just hanging around in the air there. Oh, wow, he's just dived down for his breakfast, I reckon. Absolutely love kestrels. Hope you enjoyed the video on that a few weeks ago. Yeah, we've had a little scout round. There's another ridge line I've looked at before, but it hasn't quite worked. And I've said to Steve, I've been both sides of this tree and trying to get something original. But I think with the classics are classics for a reason. And the classic shot is from here with the limestone, leading lines into the tree. And I think that's probably, to be honest, what I'm going to end up shooting. So I'm going to move closer to Steve, because this limestone here actually looks a lot cleaner further up. At the moment it's a bit broken, but it gradually comes together, and then the grikes are all filled with interesting plants. But yeah, I think it's going to be better closer in, and we've got wide angle lenses. So let's go and shoot this, and I'll talk you through my composition. Beautiful day though. Right, so we're doing a time lapse. Look at that started off, because actually the sky is broken up and there is some colour. Where the low cloud has lifted, the high cloud's catching it a bit now, because sunrise is approaching. So these can sometimes look quite nice, and the low cloud is actually blowing through quite quickly, so it's quite nice to do a long exposure with this, because that will just blur and it will look that kind of surreal blurriness. I wondered whether this tree was dead, and it's certainly not doing brilliantly, but there is some leaves on it, so it's still alive, and that's good, because a bit like the old lone tree and Hadrian's Wall, Hadrian's Wall Gap, we don't want to have our trees falling down, our photographic icons that we photograph, do we? Just show you into the valley there. It just looks wonderful. Steve's busy just tuning his composition. It's been nice to spend some time out with Steve. It's been really good. We were just saying, actually, that company is something that neither of us used to crave, but actually, I wouldn't say we crave it now, but it's actually really nice to speak and be out on location with other people. I think as long as you're respectful and you don't go and stand in their compositions all the time, it's something you should do, definitely. And certainly, I've said this before on the channel, if you're out on the coast or you're out somewhere that can be dangerous, it's good to have a friend with you in case the worst happens. So always find a photography friend, I think. Still really enjoying it. We're both really enjoying the dawn chorus. The birds are wonderful. And everybody else in this part of the world pretty much are asleep. That's why we do it. Right, so we've set up for this really. The sky has kind of got a little bit of colour, but because of this low moving cloud that's charging across the sky, I've gone with a 8 stop, I think. I've got a minute exposure, so it's going to blur all these clouds as they're moving across, which makes it interesting. I like it. It makes everything seem soft and sort of sunrisey, I guess. Pick up any of the colour, and the colour is definitely higher up. But once the sun is up, if this cloud moves away, which it's supposed to do, we might get a bit of light on the tree. Although, to be fair, it's supposed to clag up later on. So maybe the weather that I thought was coming in has already gone. I don't know, because obviously weather fronts move around. But to be honest, it's not too bad. Right, let's go and have a look at the image on the back of the camera and see what I've got, and whether we need to have anything a bit longer. I kind of would like this high cloud to be, or this low cloud to be slightly less low, or slightly less of it would be get better, because that's where the colour is, but it might be interesting. Okay, I've moved a little bit more to the left, which may seem a bit odd because the leading lines are pointing left, but I quite like, as you know, a diagonal in my images. I think I give them a bit of dynamism, and I'm kind of looking at this little row of plants. Where are we here? These ferns and stuff are going to help lead to the main subjects, which you can't really miss. So the reason I've come over this side is that the valley down here is lovely. Although, having just said that, I've turned the camera to portrait and I'm not getting the valley in. So maybe I'll do a couple of long exposures here, because this cloud is going across nicely, and then we'll go back to landscape, because the valley and the mist in the distance is why I moved over here. Idea what the bird is in the tree, and now he stopped as he's on the camera, but he's been going for it. I think I can see him. Oh no, I can't. Here we go. Ornithologist out there. I have no idea what that is. Actually, I've got an app on my phone, so I'm going to tell you in a second. So I put the wide angle away, actually, because I've done the tree now, and the light's just, there's some really dark, heavy clouds coming in, which I quite like, but it's just going to mean the background's very, very blank. There's no kind of detail in the clouds, but what I have done, unusually for me, let me show you. I'll put the long telephoto on, and actually, I'm really liking that. So it's just the valley over there, we're at 135mm, so we're not even that far in, because I quite like this again as a panoramic crop. Probably might take some of the bottom off like that. I've just got this hill here, whatever this is, which I really like. Obviously you can see that it's not quite that colour, but by the time I finish with it, it's going to be something. I like this darker bit of sky here. This looks great. So watch my shore Steve doesn't fall down a hole. Oh, God, it's cold out here. Really freezing. It's July. Oh, I wish I got a bigger coat and a woolly hat, but the old birds are still going in the tree. Just going to show you this because it's probably going to be the last image of the day. I'm really still loving this landscape here, and look at so what I've done, and this is kind of what it looks like. Steve spotted a tree on a hill with a bit of limestone underneath, which is not perfect, to be honest. It's kind of be better if it was a bit higher, but I love, I hope you can see this okay, I just love these layers of these clouds that we've got. Look, and one of the good things about a long telephoto is that it picks it out, and that's kind of the nice thing to do. You can see the lights in the distance. So this is the 100 to 400mm lens which I've bought, and I've been carrying it around, and it's heavy, and you cannot carry it around. I thought, you know what, let's use it. Steve's a big fan of long lenses, and it says, actually I think we discussed it on the podcast. So on the podcast, Steve actually, who was interviewing me, said that he reckoned once I've got the geared head on the tripod, I'd use a long telephoto a lot more often, because you don't get that ball head socket bounce thing, which and he's, you know what, he's dead right, because with a gear head it's perfect for long telephotos, because you can just adjust the composition, and I really like that. I think that's a really lovely image. It's all about the layers of the clouds, and we've got these kind of darker layers that are gradually lighting up as I go through the image, which I think will be good. So I'm going to put that on the end of the video now and see what you think. Well, just as we were about to go, the lights kicked off. It's behind me. Look, it's been in and out, but the light, when it comes out, is absolutely wonderful. I've been working on a couple of compositions, which again I'll show you behind me. I didn't probably be able to see them very easily, but on the hill there, some really nice lone trees and a kind of a little group. And I've been shooting that with the 400mm actually, and Steve's been down here working this tree, and he's been wanting some light on it. And in a second ago, it's just kicked off. It's gone again. It's gone again. We had light for about 30 seconds, and we were both shouting and screaming like children. It's brilliant. But the light in the valley has been amazing. So I'm really glad we hung around. I've had the drone up, so I'll put the drone pictures on here for you now, because I really like them as well. I did a lovely panoramic. That was really just before the light really kicked off, and I think we're going to have a bit more fun with this. So let's see what happens. There we go, that's what we've been looking for. Look at that. So the light is now, obviously, as you can see, on that tree there, a bit of limestone. It's a nice shadow, but the valley is in shadow, and there's really interesting clouds Beautiful, got some white fluffy ones coming in from the right hand side. Looks so wonderful. Got these lovely old Yorkshire fences and stone walls, which just again look so good in this landscape. I absolutely love photographing them. I need to do a bit more of them. And now as the light has gone, you could probably actually saw that the light is now gone. Look. This has been the best bit, and actually I could have stayed in bed for another couple of hours, but that's not the point. Not the point. You have to be in it to win it. You never know when light like this is going to happen. So absolutely brilliant day. Right, I'm going to carry on photographing now without blocking. So thanks ever so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. Go and check out Steve's Day Photography. I'll link Steve's channel down below. I'm sure you're already subscribed, or if you're not, one of the few people who are not, go and check him out. He's a brilliant photographer and a lovely gentleman. I really enjoyed working with him today. It's been fantastic. What a great weekend I've had so far. So until next week, take care. See you soon. Bye.